Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jamie. I'm trying to get more in the habit of doing more videos for you guys, but today I'm going to talk about the esthetician program, how I got started, like my journey, some recommendations, some tips of what you guys could do to get in the program and how it was, well, what to expect. So if you guys want to know more, just keep watching. Okay, so let's start it off. I actually am a makeup artist. I've been doing makeup the last 3.5, 4 years. So everybody kept saying to me, once you get a license in something, so it'll look better on a resume in case you want to work for a company or anything. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I never knew what an esthetician was, let alone I never heard of that name before. So when people kept saying that to me, I didn't know what it was. And my older sister does hair. She's a cosmetologist, and she has a younger sister on her dad's side because we have different fathers, who she was a cosmetologist as well. And she kept saying, Jamie, you know, once you become an esthetician, and I'm like, an esthetician, what's that? And she was like, oh, it's skincare and makeup and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, well, I'll check it out. So I did research, and I found out what it was and what it required and how many hours it was and all that. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to look up some schools and get enrolled. I had just got laid off from a job, so I thought it was the perfect time to go back to school and get a license in something that I really wanted to do because I had an office job. It was at a really good job, but it was my time to go after like about almost a year. So I basically literally went to, they had what they call like an open house where you can go check the school out to see if you like it and see about the program. So I went to the open house, and literally like a week and a half later school started. So it was that fast. I literally looked it up, made an appointment. They had an open house. I went. A week later I got enrolled. A week later I went to the school and was actually in class about to start. I'm a type now or never type chick. Like, I don't do the waiting around. They told me every 5 weeks they do new classes for brand new estheticians coming in. So I was like, okay, why not? Might as well go. So 2 days before I started school, which was on a Tuesday, it was a Saturday, and they made us come down for orientation, and they basically gave us a big box. It had all our stuff in it, so they went over a list with us of what we should have. So they gave us a mannequin head. They gave us Dermalogica kit. Every school has different brands that they use. Ours was Dermalogica. It was a kit of all skincare stuff for you to take home to practice. And they gave us all kind of like, not utensils, but things that you need to go along with it. Like, they gave us a container for barbicide to disinfect our stuff. They gave us a brush to clean our stuff. They gave us like a cape. We also had a lancet for extractions. We also had just everything that you need for an esthetician kit. I'll post like what I had or what we got at my school, because I know every school's different, so I don't know if they have the same kind of kit or whatever. But I'm in California, by the way, in like the Bay Area, so I don't know how other schools do it. But we had some restrictions on some things we couldn't do. Like, we couldn't do sorry guys, I just lost my train of thought. We couldn't do eyebrow tinting. Like, there was certain stuff they learned in Arizona at their other school that they couldn't teach us because we can't do in the state of California. So just make sure you read up your rules and regulations of what you can and can't do in your state, because it's different from each state. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we can't do in California. But anyway, so we got all our stuff. I met some of my classmates who I didn't even know was my classmates. It was just random girls I was talking to, and they ended up being in my class. So basically they gave us 3 pairs of uniforms, 3 tops, 3 bottoms. They're scrubs, all black. We have to wear black shoes. They gave us an ID badge that you have to clock in for. Your ID badge is very, 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 very vital. It's your hours. Nobody's going to keep up with your hours for you. So I always suggest not just depending on the clock, but also writing down your hours and making sure that they match up, because you have to do 600 hours. This is like a as-go hourly program. So if you're coming every day and doing what you're supposed to, and you can stay after, do it, because the quicker you do it, the quicker you get out. And it's 600 hours, so that's about 6 months. I got done in about 5.5 months. So, sorry guys. So yeah, just make sure you're coming and you're doing your hours and you're understanding and you're learning everything that you need to learn so you can get out of there quicker. So basically, school starts at 8:30. I came early. You clock in, you go to your class, and you have your books. They give you 3 books. We use Melody books, and basically we had a book, a booklet, and a workbook. I mean, a quiz book and a workbook, and of course our book. But yeah, we did some of that for extra credit. Our teachers didn't really require the workbooks, but the book, of course. And basically, your first 5 weeks, you're in phase 1. You're a newbie. They're teaching you all the rules and regulations. They're teaching you how to disinfect. They're giving you chores. Well, not really chores. They're responsibilities that you're going to have to do when you go get a job out at a spa or wherever you're going to work at. Everyone's assigned a duty, like someone's laundry, someone's dispensary, someone is doing floor sweeping. Like, everybody's helping out and pitching in. Like, it's a group effort. So we did that for 5 weeks. It was just jam-packed. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little overwhelmed because there was so much to learn in 5 weeks, but it's the most vital and crucial information that you have to know within those first 5 weeks. That's why I say don't be sick, don't be absent. If you don't, I mean, if you can avoid being absent, don't. But yeah, it's jam-packed though, but it's worth it if you really, really want to learn it. My key things of learning is key terms and ingredients. Those are like your 2 biggest things. Like, if you know what's in something, you can sell anything. If you know what's in something, you can avoid somebody having an allergic reaction. You can avoid somebody giving them something for their skin that they don't need at all. Like, you can just avoid so many things if you know ingredients. And of course, time. Like, make sure you come, you show up, and you're a timely person. But yeah, and your terms. Like, know your terms, because they're not going to accept, oh, I wash my face. It's cleansing the face. Like, there's certain terms that you have to use. Like, you can't say, I plucked her eyebrows. You have to say, I tweezed her eyebrows. You have to say it the very, very professional way. Like, they didn't let us get away with none of that, which I'm glad, excuse me, I'm glad they didn't, because it helps in the long run. You don't want to be saying the wrong things when you get out on the field. But, and after the 5 weeks, you go to downstairs, which is phase 2, which is where they gave us a week leeway to get familiar and get comfortable. You actually start taking clients. So that's why I say know your key terms, know your ingredients, be comfortable giving facials, because you're doing student exchange all in phase 1, and phase 2 is like the real deal. You're taking clients, you're coming to school on time, you're selling products, you're teaching and educating your client. So basically phase 2 was kind of like, we got thrown in there, but not in a bad way. It was just like we didn't have really good example of seniors. Like, a lot of people just had bad attitudes and didn't want to be there and just checked out. So it wasn't really a good experience. We didn't really get a welcome. I won't say all of them, maybe like 3 of them welcomed us that I'm still friends with, but everybody else was just on their own thing. That's why I say, like, do you learn what you got to learn and get out of there. But basically you start taking clients, and our school was big on time. Like, they will schedule people purposely at 8:45 to make sure you're at school on time. Me, I say if you're coming on time, you're late, so come early. Like, come at 8:15, because if everybody has assigned duties and that person's not there, it could delay you and your client, and it takes up their time, and then it makes you late for another client, which is just a domino effect. Like, nobody wins. Like, say for instance, somebody's there to set beds in the clinic and they're not there. You have a client at 8:45 and you come at 8:30. Now you're running and rushing to go set up a bed, get everything you need for your client except for pumping product, like getting the linens that you need, getting the we use steamers, getting the water for steamers, because you have to use distilled water. You know what I mean? Making sure you have a hot towel cabinet on, making sure the light's been turned on. Like, you have to just make sure so many things is prepared for your client. So you don't want to be in a point where you have to rush, because then it makes you frazzled, then it makes you tired, then you got to go greet your client, and it's like you just bring all that energy because you're there to soothe them and comfort them. Like, they don't care about what you had going on 15 minutes before they got there. They just want their service and relax. So that's why I always say come early if you can. If not, just make sure you're there. Our school sent you home if you came after 8:30 and had a client at 8:45, and people go, oh, that's not fair. Well, how was I supposed to know? It's trying to teach you and train you, prepare you for a real job that you're not going to know if you have a client at 9 a.m. That's why you have to be at work at 8:30. If somebody forgot to do the linen or wash the clothes and you have nothing and you have a client at 9, you're there. So hopefully by the time you're opening up, you'll at least have towels. They don't even have to be dry, because estheticians, we deal with wet towels and hot steam towels. So you can kind of work your way around that if you're early. So anyway, you're going to be taking clients, so everything you learned upstairs, barbicide, how to disinfect, how to cleanse, how to set up a bed, how to greet a client, product knowledge, like all that stuff comes into play. It's kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous, my first client, but she bought 3 products that I sold to her, so that was $170 in sales that I made. And I got over my fear and I was more confident. It was like, to me, I just pictured the person was a family member. Like, just talk to them like a regular friendly person. Don't be a salesperson, because nobody wants that. That actually runs them off. Like, just be like kind, like, oh, this cleanser I got, oh, that smells really good. And then you engage them like, oh, well, we have that out there. It's really, really good. It's good for the skin. It's for pores. You know, whatever you got to say to try to sell it. And most time they'll remember that. If they seen a sunscreen, they're like, oh, I don't want that. But you put it on them and they smelled it. Like, that smells really good. Oh, we have the sunscreen out there. It's like you got to kind of finesse and kind of trick people into getting stuff. It's sad to say, but yeah. But, so we would, have events where they gave us awards for who had top percentage in grades, who was student of the month, who had top sales, and all that stuff goes in your portfolio. So if you're ever looking for a job after you graduate, it just looks good on paper that you were a top salesperson, that you had perfect attendance, that you had top 85% in grades. Like, it just looks good for your portfolio. Me, I got student of the month, I got perfect attendance, I got top 85% grades and stuff like that. So it just looks really good, and plus it should make you feel good that you're doing something right and your school is recognizing it and you get a certificate for that. But yeah, so just be time, know your products, know your key terms, make sure you're keeping track of your time, and you'll get out there quicker than what you know it. So when you get to when you get to 400 hours, you basically what they call pre-apt out, which is applying to take your test for state board, which is what you have to take in order to get your license once you graduate at 600 hours. So basically our school, they pay a majority of the fee and we pay a small amount. We paid $49. I don't know what the portion of the school's fee was, but we basically pre-apt out, we give our information, they send a paper to your actual home from the state board of cosmetology and barber, and sends it to your house, and they tell you when your date is. You want the quickest and soonest date as possible, so all the information you learned at school stays fresh in your mind. You don't want to take it months after or a year after, because you're going to forget everything and then you're going to be cramming and all that stuff. So our last day of school, well, the end of my contract, because you have an end of contract, is March 16th, and my state board was on March 15th. And I graduated March the 2nd, which was a Friday. And basically you pre-apt out, they send it to your house, you have your testing date, the school knows your testing date because they like to check in and see who passed, who didn't, so they could put it on their statistics and their website and stuff. So basically I had the same date as 2 of my other friends, Danielle and Demi. I love you guys. So I had the same date as them, so we just rode together because it was a far way away. It was in Fairfield, and it's about an hour and a half drive away from me, and they lived in San Leandro, so it was probably about an hour drive from them. So we just all commuted together, and unfortunately I didn't pass the written. You have to have a 75 or more to pass. Me, I got 74. So you can imagine I was just completely shocked and embarrassed. I was the last to get called. Normally when you pass, they call you first and people celebrate and they run out and you never have to go to that building again. Me, I was dead last to get called after my friends had already got there. So basically, yeah, I was so close. I passed my practical with flying colors. The practical is where you have a dummy head and you actually have to simulate and do all the stuff you learned in school, cleansing the face, toning, mask, makeup, whatever it may be. And then you have a written part. The written part, you have to get 75 or more. I got 74. So you can imagine how shocked and embarrassed I was, and I was really, really sad, and I didn't want to go back, but my parents and my friends and everybody encouraged me to go back. You do have to pay a $75 fee for a retake just for the written portion, but you don't have to go all the way out there to Fairfield. There's other facilities. They'll send you a booklet to study from, and there's different facilities that you can go to just to take the written part. So I chose something that was like 10 minutes away from my house. And unfortunately, I took it again, and I missed the written again by 1 point. So I was just really annoyed. Like, what is with this 1 point? Like, I could see if I missed 10 or 15 points. I missed 1 point again. And this literally was like a week and a half ago. No, not a week and a half ago. I'm sorry. On the 21st, literally last Monday. So I just was like, I don't even want to go back again. So this is going to be my third time going back. I just reapplied. I don't know when I could take it again. They give you a booklet, and then when you get the booklet, you can go to the facility and you pick a testing date. You can either call or do it online to book the appointment. And I was just so, I ain't gonna lie, like I was just so disappointed, and it was just so close again. So now my friends gave me study guides, they gave me booklets, all kind of stuff that could really help me to figure out what's going to be on the test, because the test was totally different than the one on state board. This one I felt was easier, but it was more small stuff that I'm studying the big stuff, thinking it's big things popping, and it's little things going on, like the simplest stuff that I wouldn't even remember, like what, huh? It was just so annoying. But anyway, it's all good. I'm gonna just take it again, and we're gonna get this thing popping. And yeah, if this is gonna be my third try. I heard if you don't pass it the third time, I'll have to go back to school for theory, which I'm not trying to do because I don't like my school. So I have to buckle down and make sure that I study simpler things, because I see that's what it is now, rather than more complicated things at state board. Because at state board, I don't know what the hell they put on there. They tricked us. It was so much stuff on there that we didn't even study for, that wasn't even in that booklet, that I was like, what the hell is this? But it was more simple and practical on the second time I took it. So that's just a little backstory, a little advice. But yeah, so our graduation ceremony wasn't really a ceremony. It's like they just watch you clock out at 600 hours, and you clock out and everybody cheers for you, and your family can come. My dad came because my graduation was on a weekday, and my dad came and he just said a little speech, and then friends said a speech, and they can give you gifts or whatever, and you go about your business. But yeah, so that's the whole esthetician program. So like I said, time, making sure you know product knowledge and key terms, and make sure that you like make at least one friend. I say, like somebody who you really can trust, because for student exchange and learning stuff and practicing or whatever you got to do, that's gonna be your road dog. Like my road dog, my esty bestie is Selma, okay, salmonella, but she hate when I call her that. But anyway, yeah, so just make sure you have that one person you can confide in, that you're friends with, that you can get stuff done together with, because we did a lot of that. Like when it was downtime and nothing to do, we went and did facials on each other, we practiced stuff, we learned product knowledge, like we just stayed busy. Like keep yourself busy. Even if you feel like there's nothing to do and nothing really to learn, just stay busy. And also I forgot to mention that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays we had theory, which was all day. Well, not all day, I'm gonna say the first 2 hours of school we had book work, where we read the chapter, learned terms, and then after that was we could do our homework. Like let's say we had a workbook page, we had extra credit we could do student exchange like facials, or we could ask her whatever we didn't learn. She put a video on if you want to learn things of waxing and things of makeup, whatever the case may be, you can learn all that stuff. But just keep yourself busy. And then Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays was days that we took clients. So the 2 days that they were most adamant about that you don't miss is Fridays and Saturdays, because of course those are the busier days. People are off work, people want to come in. So you want to make sure that you are at school for that. And plus you don't want to miss a Saturday. That's the long days. You don't want to have to make up 7 hours. So just make sure you come if you can. Like don't not come just to not come. Like come to school, because it goes off hours. Like I said, the quicker you do it, the quicker it's over with. So also if you go on field trips or whatever it is, or ask your teacher if you go on field trips for the school, that's hours right there. Like if you don't want to be in theory all day and dermatologic is like, oh, we're having an event, you students can come sign up, tell your school about it so you can actually go, and that's hours. Like you can get out of school, go on a field trip, and get certified and get hours. So I recommend doing that. They did a lot of that. I never really got to go on any, because I was kind of always like the dead last to get to know the info. But yeah, so just make sure you know that you're just keeping up with the current trends. You can sign up for magazines, you can go on websites, blogs. You can keep up with what's the latest trend on what people like with facial care, skincare, especially if you want to do your own business. You can keep up with the competition. And if you want to go work for, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to go work for a franchise, sorry guys, yeah, I had a moment. But if you want to go work for a franchise, I recommend a franchise over a mom and pop place because a franchise is going to teach you more. You're insured under them. If you move or whatever and you still want to be with the business, you can transfer to another spot. You don't have to worry about starting like applying for a new job. Basically, you already know the perks and everything that goes on. So I recommend working at a franchise. They teach you more, they train you, all that good stuff. But if you want to work at a small place, that's up to you. But I recommend a franchise because then you're guaranteed to get a raise and all that good stuff, benefits, all that. But yeah, that was my experience at esthetician school. A lot of you guys want to know my school. I'm not going to say my school because I don't recommend it. It wasn't a really good school, so that's why I'm not going to say where I went. But I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going to go on my social media and see where I went. But yeah, I just recommend doing your research and just finding the best school, accredited school, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's my experience at esthetician school. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave them down below. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say how much the price. It's a program. It's roughly under $11,000. If you have financial aid or if you can get grant money or whatever it is, get it. Me, half my program was paid for by that, and the other half is like I got to pay back about $5,000, which isn't bad. But yeah, just make sure you go and speak to somebody about financial aid or whatever you can do to pay for your school. Because me, I got approved real fast, and then I started school real fast. I thought I wasn't going to be able to start on time because of financial aid, but I was able to get in there. Everybody's circumstance is different. I know some people who have to pay a small fee a month to go to school, and yeah, that's not cool. You don't want to be paying to go to school while you're in school. It's already stressful enough to learn all those terms and stuff. And also, if you this is a big one, do not go past your contract date. At my school in particular, it's $6 an hour until you finish. So that's why I said make sure you come to school and you're going to school, because honey, you don't want to be paying $6 an hour to a school that you're going to and you're already stressed out going past your contract date. So I know some people who've done that. That's not cool. So that's why I say, like, it's what you make it. Come to school, do your hours, and get out of there soon. Because you don't, if you're already paying a month, then you got to start paying an hour. It's added stress on top of added stress until you finish. So that's why I say don't go past your contract date. They give you an X amount of weeks, however long if they say it takes to do 600 hours. So that's why I recommend, like, come to school. Even if you don't feel like coming to school, even if you're sick, just come to school. Because I did that. I had the flu and I was sitting in the back, sleep, posted, but I still got my hours. So yeah, that's a big thing. Big. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys want more videos or have questions, like, leave comments down below. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll be sure to make another video on how I got it started in makeup, how I became a makeup artist, and all those good things. And thank you for watching. Bye.